Natasha Jonas wants a third fight before the end of the year, and she plans to win a third world title belt in 2022. She plans to add another world super welterweight title to her collection by challenging Marie-Eve Dicaire. Do you think she has what it takes to win the challenge? In this video, we'll discuss in detail what makes her so confident about winning. Make sure you stick with me to the end. Without any further delay, let's get into it. Natasha Jonas wants to put WBC and WBO crowns on the line against Marie-Eve Dicaire. Natasha Jonas will attempt to add another world super welterweight title to her collection when she challenges Marie-Eve Dicaire at Manchester's AO Arena on November 12th. Liverpool's Jonas will put her WBC and WBO crowns on the line against her Canadian opponent, the IBF champion whose only loss in a 19-fight career came against the decorated Claressa Shields last year. Dicaire bounced back and reclaimed her world title by knocking out Cynthia Lozano while Jonas was settling quickly at 154 pounds, becoming the unified champion with wins over Chris Namus and Patricia Berghult. On the other hand, Jonas unified the WBO and WBC super-welterweight titles earlier this month with a great performance in Liverpool. She beat Patricia Berghult by a wide gap in a unanimous decision to win both titles. Now she plans to build on this result as she has made a move to fight Marie-Eve Dicaire. Jonas said to Sky Sports she has been called out on social media a few times and that she is happy to fight IBF super-welterweight champion Marie-Eve Dicaire. She added that everyone among the women wants to fight, which is a good thing. With less politics and other things that get in the way, she believes that the fights will be easy to make. She also highlighted that if Ben Shalom, Marie-Eve Dicaire's promoter, keeps delivering, she just has to do her part. She concluded by asking, or rather imagining, how cool it would be to have 3 fights before the end of the year. Jonas from Liverpool won her first world title in February. She jumped up 3 weight classes to beat Chris Namus for the WBO belt, even though she only had a few days to prepare. But she thought she had made a name for herself in the division when she did well against Berghult in her home city. Then Jonas said that it was awesome. The same things can be said about Berghult. She had been a winner for many years. She is the best in her division, and what's more, she had the belt Jonas wanted. Jonas added that every round was close, and she couldn't stop paying attention at any point. She admitted that she gave her probably more chances than the judges did, and also revealed that she was putting her under a lot of stress and trying to get her to shoot. It is what it is, and she is not upset about it. The body shots and then the head shots definitely did a lot of damage. Slowing her down was kind of the plan. Jonas continued and said that there's nothing worse than being out of your comfort zone and having to punch when you don't want to, and she was trying to do just that. Jonas is still excited about the future. She has 2 of the belts that middleweight champion Claressa Shields, an American star, used to have. The big fight between Shields and Savannah Marshall has been moved to October 15th. Jonas is willing to fight Shields in the future if the American moves back down to super welterweight. Listen, anything can happen in this game, Jonas told her. Jonas revealed that she doesn't think she will be leaving soon and added that she still has things she wants to do. Jonas concluded by saying that when you have what she wants, whether it's a WCB belt, a ring belt, an IBF belt, or a WBA belt, that she will be coming for you. All ticket spot for the first Shields vs. Marshall fight are still good for the October 15th match. Don't miss out. You can buy the last few tickets at Boxer.com. In other news, let's talk about Claressa Shields feeling stronger and more energized ahead of the Savannah Marshall fight. Claressa Shields feels she has already beaten Savannah Marshall mentally ahead of their fight at the O2 on Saturday. The bitter rivals were originally scheduled to go toe-to-toe on September 10th, but the fight was postponed on the eve of the weigh-in due to the death of Queen Elizabeth II. Shields feels the delay has played into her hands and given her recovery time, telling Sky Sports that she had spent 11 weeks in camp and she was going to go out there and do it, that her opponent was about to get worked over. She added that she had to beat her body up so much, then when it is fight week, she will have to cut weight, and also, she was doing a whole lot of recovery. Last camp, maybe she was running 8-minute and 30-second miles, but now she is running 7-minute and 30-second, 7-minute miles, and now she is lower in weight. She highlighted that she feels stronger and more energized, and she weighs less than she was going to last time. Shields, a 2-time undisputed world champion, will defend her WBC, IBF, and WBA middleweight titles against British WBO title holder Marshall, who has stopped 10 of her 12 opponents and is regarded as a fearsome puncher. But the American feels she will be too strong for 31-year-old Marshall. Next up, 25 years ago, Joe Calzaghe defeated Chris Eubank and won his first world title. 25 years ago, Joe Calzaghe became the WBO World Super Middleweight Champion. 15 years ago, he was still the WBO Super Middleweight Champion. No one has ever been able to take that burgundy belt from the Welsh Dragon in the ring. When he abdicated his throne, he did so voluntarily to take on new challenges in the lightweight class. Only 2 world champions have retired with a better record than Calzaghe, Rocky Marciano and Floyd Mayweather. His clear 46-0 record remains the standard for British fighters to achieve. It all started against Chris Eubank a quarter of a century ago. Eubank wasn't even supposed to be in the ring with Calzaghe that night in Sheffield. The Welshman, 22-0, 2-0, had earned a chance against WBO super middleweight champion Steve Collins. The Celtic Warrior had proven himself by ending the era of dominance of Eubank and Nigel Benn, recording 2 victories over each of them. But Collins' incredible run came to an abrupt end when the champion collapsed during a training session. Although medical examinations did not reveal any underlying issues, the fighter chose to heed the warning and walk away while he still could. Eubank has had a strange transition with the British sporting public. First considered too boastful to be truly appreciated, his 2 losses to Collins somehow made him more human. The sporting conscience in the country has always favored the brave loser over the blameless winner. Frank Bruno has always been more beloved than Lennox Lewis, although the latter has a larger CV than the former. Now that Eubank has shown he can overcome adversity, his peacock persona is seen as endearing rather than over the top. He looked at the British public from behind the monocle, and he liked what he saw. This puts Calzaghe in the unfair position of being the villain of the piece. The undefeated young star was too flawless to get attached to. It's a problem that will plague him throughout his incredible career. He would eventually get his flowers and join Eubank, Benn, Hatton, and Bruno in the pantheon of beloved British big names. But that change in tone didn't happen until a decade later, when he crossed the ropes at Sheffield. The fight could not have started better for the pride of Wales. Calzaghe knocked down the steel-chinned Eubank in the first round, but any idea of an easy evening was quickly brushed aside. Calzaghe would later tell Boxing News that Eubank took him to a dark place in subsequent rounds. He manages to send his illustrious opponent to the deck in the 10th round, but Eubank keeps coming. After overcoming what Calzaghe still calls his toughest fight, his record might suggest everything went off without a hitch. But Joe's battle over the next decade isn't so much about his opponent as it is about attention and relevance. Calzaghe is excellent at beating opponents like Robin Reed, Richie Woodhull, Charles Brewer, and Mario Vite, but his exploits go unrecognized and critics point to the lack of prominent names on his resume. The turning point came in 2006, when Calzaghe completely decimated fearsome American punch artist and IBF champion Jeff Lacey. The brutal one-sided decision victory opened the door to a fight against WBA and WBC boss Mikkel Kessler. Calzaghe beat the Dane in a thriller before moving up to light heavyweight. He won the ring championship in this top category and ended his career with 2 points wins over Bernard Hopkins and Roy Jones Jr. Today, Calzaghe rightfully sits atop the list of great British names. It was a battle he had to fight hard to win. In many ways, his fight against Eubank was a sign of things to come, but as against Eubank, his courage, his determination, and his talent as a boxer allowed him to get out of it. That concludes today's video. If you found the video helpful, please do consider giving us a thumbs up, and don't forget to share the video with your friends and family. See you next time.